What if I told you that most IELTS candidates lose their speaking marks not because their English is bad, but because of 3 simple mistakes nobody ever warned them about? Mistakes that have nothing to do with grammar, nothing to do with vocabulary, nothing to do with accent. My guest today scored Band 8.5 in IELTS speaking. She was terrified before the exam. She made every mistake in the book. And then she figured something out. Something the textbooks never teach. And today, she is going to share every single secret with you. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to ESL Voice. Today, we are talking about one of the most stressful experiences an English learner can face, the IELTS speaking test. And specifically, how to improve your score fast. My guest today is Luna, a learner just like you, who went from feeling completely unprepared to achieving an incredible Band 8.5 in her IELTS speaking exam. She's here today to share exactly what she did differently. Luna, welcome to ESL Voice.
Thank you so much, Alex. I'm honestly a little nervous talking about this, but I really want to help people going through what I went through.
And that is exactly why you're here. Let's start from the beginning. Luna's IELTS journey. Luna, before we get into the tips, I want to hear your story. What was your English like before you took IELTS? And how did you feel going into the exam?
So honestly, my English was okay. I could have conversations, I could watch movies without subtitles, but speaking under pressure in front of an examiner, being judged on every word, that was a completely different thing.
So the pressure was the problem, not the English itself.
Exactly. The first time I took a mock test, I froze completely in part 2. You know part 2, where they give you a topic card and you have to speak for 2 whole minutes?
The long turn, yes.
I spoke for maybe 40 seconds, and then complete silence. The examiner just looked at me, and I wanted to disappear.
Oh, that sounds absolutely terrifying.
It was, but that moment was actually the best thing that ever happened to me, because it showed me exactly what I needed to fix. And it wasn't my vocabulary. It wasn't my grammar. It was my strategy.
What IELTS examiners actually look for? Luna, let's talk about something most candidates never understand. What are IELTS examiners actually looking for in speaking? Because I think most people think it's just about speaking good English.
This was my biggest discovery. IELTS speaking is marked on 4 specific criteria, and when I learned exactly what they were, everything changed.
Break them down for us.
Number 1, fluency and coherence. This means, can you speak smoothly without stopping too much? Does your answer make sense and flow logically? Key point. It does not mean speaking without any pauses. Natural pauses are completely fine. What they penalize is long, uncomfortable silences or speaking in broken, disconnected sentences.
So you don't need to speak like a machine, just smoothly and logically?
Exactly. Natural flow is the goal. Number 2, lexical resource. This just means vocabulary, but not just knowing big words. It means using a variety of words, not repeating the same words constantly, using phrases and expressions naturally.
So saying very good every time instead of excellent or outstanding, that hurts your score?
It does. Variety is everything here. Number 3, grammatical range and accuracy. Again, not perfection. Small mistakes are acceptable. What they want to see is that you can use different types of sentences, simple sentences, complex sentences, different tenses, different structures.
So mixing up your sentence structures shows the examiner your range.
Perfectly said. And number 4, pronunciation. Not accent, not sounding British or American, just can the examiner understand you clearly? Do you stress the right words? Does your voice rise and fall naturally?
So a strong accent is completely fine, as long as you're clear and natural?
100%. I have a strong accent. I scored Band 8.5. Accent is never the issue. Clarity is what matters.
The biggest mistakes candidates make?
Luna, you mentioned earlier that you were making mistakes before you figured out your strategy. What are the biggest mistakes IELTS speaking candidates make?
I made all of them. So I can speak from personal experience. Mistake 1, memorizing model answers. So many candidates do this. They find sample answers online, they memorize them word for word, and they repeat them in the exam.
And that doesn't work?
It backfires completely. Examiners are trained specifically to detect memorized answers. The moment you start reciting something that sounds rehearsed, they mark you down for fluency immediately. Because it doesn't sound natural. It sounds like a robot reading a script.
So memorizing answers actually hurts your score.
Badly. I learned this the hard way. Mistake 2, giving very short answers. In part 1 especially, candidates answer the question and then stop. Do you like traveling? Yes, I do. Done. Silence.
Guilty.
Every candidate is guilty of this. But short answers give the examiner nothing to assess. Always extend your answers. Add a reason. Add an example. Add how you feel about it. Yes, I love traveling. I think it opens your mind to new cultures. Last year I visited Thailand and it completely changed my perspective on life. Same question, completely different score.
So always give the answer plus the reason plus the example.
Every single time, without exception. Mistake 3, trying to sound perfect. This one is so common. Candidates spend so much energy trying to speak without any mistakes that they speak very slowly, very carefully, very unnaturally. And ironically, that hurts fluency.
Because fluency means natural flow, not perfect grammar.
Exactly. A small grammar mistake said confidently and naturally scores higher than a correct sentence said nervously and slowly. Confidence is part of fluency.
The area technique for part 1.
Luna, let's get very practical now. Give us a specific technique for each part of the IELTS speaking test. Start with part 1.
For part 1, I use what I call the area technique. A, answer the question directly. R, reason. Give one reason. E, example. Give a specific example. A, add. Add one more thought or feeling. Let me show you with a real example. Question, do you enjoy cooking? A, answer. Yes, I really enjoy cooking. R, reason. I find it very relaxing after a long day. E, example. Last weekend I made a traditional dish from my home country for my friends. A, add. I think cooking is actually a really creative activity that a lot of people underestimate.
And that naturally gives you a full extended answer without rambling or going off topic.
In about 30 to 40 seconds. Perfect length for part 1.
Area. Answer, reason, example, add. I love how simple that is.
Simple enough to remember when you're nervous in the exam room. That's why I designed it that way.
Conquering the dreaded part 2. Okay, Luna. Part 2. The long turn. 2 full minutes of speaking alone. This is where you froze completely before you found your strategy. What changed?
Part 2 terrified me because I thought I had to speak continuously without stopping. 2 minutes felt like 2 hours. But then I learned something that completely transformed my approach. The 1 minute preparation time is the most important part of part 2.
The preparation minute? Tell me more.
Most candidates use that minute to think about what they want to say, but I started using it differently. I used it to create a mini structure. The task card always has 4 bullet points to guide you. I quickly wrote 1 or 2 words next to each bullet point. Just trigger words, not full sentences. Just reminders.
So you're building a tiny roadmap in 1 minute.
A roadmap, exactly. And then when I spoke, I followed the roadmap. I never ran out of things to say. I never went off topic. I never panicked because I always knew where I was going next.
And did you always fill the full 2 minutes?
At first, no. So I learned another trick. Storytelling. Whatever the topic is, I always include a short personal story. This reminds me of a time when I remember once, a few years ago, stories are natural. Stories are fluent. Stories fill time beautifully. And stories impress examiners because they show real language use.
Not textbook language, real language.
Real, living, breathing language. That's what gets Band-Aid.
Handling difficult questions in part 3. Luna, part 3 is where things get really challenging. The examiner asks abstract, complex discussion questions. Things like, how do you think technology will affect education in the future? How do you handle questions that you genuinely don't know how to answer?
Part 3 scared me the most, actually, because unlike Part 1 and 2, the questions are unpredictable, deep, sometimes philosophical. But I learned something crucial. The examiner is not testing whether your opinion is correct. They are testing whether you can discuss and develop ideas in English.
So it doesn't matter what you think, it matters how you express it.
Exactly right. And for difficult questions, I use 3 powerful phrases. Phrase 1, buy thinking time. That's a really interesting question. Let me think about that for a moment. This is completely natural. It gives you 3 to 5 seconds, and it sounds confident, not lost. Phrase 2, show 2 sides. Well, on one hand, but on the other hand. This immediately shows the examiner complex thinking. It doubles the length of your answer, and it's incredibly easy to use on almost any topic. Phrase 3, speculate confidently. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe. From what I understand, in my opinion, although I could be wrong. These phrases show academic thinking. Examiners love them.
So you don't need to know the answer. You just need to handle the question gracefully.
Gracefully. That's the perfect word. IELTS Part 3 is not a knowledge test. It is a language performance. Perform confidently, even when you're unsure.
Luna's 30-day preparation plan. Luna, if someone has exactly 30 days before their IELTS speaking exam, what should they do every single day?
Okay, here is my exact 30-day plan. Week 1, foundation. Every day, record yourself answering 3 Part 1 questions. Listen back, notice what you repeat, notice where you pause too long. Fix one thing each day.
So week 1 is about finding your weaknesses.
Finding and fixing, simultaneously. Week 2, vocabulary building. Every day, learn 5 new topic-specific phrases. Not random words. Phrases for common IELTS topics. Technology, education, environment, health, travel, culture. Use each phrase in a spoken sentence. Out loud, every day.
So your vocabulary becomes topic ready for the exam.
You know exactly what to say when those topics come up, and they almost always do. Week 3, Part 2 practice. Every day, pick one Part 2 task card. Use the 1-minute prep. Build your roadmap. Speak for 2 full minutes. Record everything. Focus on 2 things only. Did you fill the time? Did you include a personal story? Week 4, full mock tests. Every day, simulate the full exam. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Time yourself exactly. Record everything. And if possible, ask someone to listen and give feedback. A teacher, a friend, anyone.
And what about the night before the exam?
The night before, do not practice. Sleep, eat well, rest your voice. Your preparation is done. Trust your work, trust yourself.
I love that. Trust your work. Luna's personal message. Luna, final question. Someone watching this right now has their IELTS speaking exam coming up. They're terrified. They feel like they're not ready. They're afraid they'll freeze just like you did. What do you say directly to that person?
I want you to take a deep breath. Right now. With me. Good. I know exactly how you feel. I sat where you are sitting. I felt what you are feeling. That fear in your chest. That voice saying, I'm not ready. My English isn't good enough. I'm going to fail. I know that voice. But here is what that voice is not telling you. You have been learning English your whole life. Every conversation you've had, every video you've watched, every song you've heard, every word you've read, all of it is inside you, right now, ready. The examiner is not your enemy. They are not trying to catch you out. They are sitting across from you, hoping, genuinely hoping, that you do well. Walk in there, take a breath, and just talk. Not perfectly, not like a textbook, just like yourself, in English. Because yourself, in English, is more than enough. I promise you.
Yourself in English is more than enough. Luna, I think you just gave someone watching this right now the courage to walk into that exam room. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart.
Luna. What an incredible conversation. The 4 marking criteria, the area technique for part 1, the roadmap strategy for part 2, the 3 power phrases for part 3, the 30-day preparation plan, and that final message. Yourself in English is more than enough. I am keeping that forever. On behalf of every IELTS candidate watching this today, thank you, Luna.
Thank you, Alex. And to everyone, you've worked so hard to get here. Don't let fear steal your score. Walk in, breathe, speak. You are ready.
Now, if today's episode helped you even a little bit, like this video and subscribe to ESL Voice so you never miss content like this. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is your biggest fear about the IELTS speaking test? Write it below. In English. Even one sentence. That is your practice for today. Keep practicing. Keep believing. Keep growing. This is ESL Voice, and we believe in you. Always. See you next time.
Bye, everyone. Go ace that exam.